So hi, this place, I call this the park in the middle of nowhere. And because it is pretty much in the middle of nowhere, it is two park assets, a big one and a small one, off a road that only has access pretty much from the highway or from way down there in the Orton area. You can't access it from the industry because the way the roads are. Well, I guess if you tried hard enough, you could. But you're not, transport trucks and stuff are not allowed, are not supposed to come here. The reason I put this out here is because, well, when I first started playing City Skylines, I accidentally ran across how powerful pedestrian pathways can be. All I have to do is find the spot. I didn't accidentally do nothing. I built something without realizing what was actually happening. And right now I just can't seem to find out where that is. Here it is. Okay, yeah. Before I knew what to do with pedestrian pathways, I listened to a YouTube creator, Strict Toaster. And what he did is he lined a railway with it. This place has changed since then. Well, because I like doing renovations. But you can see that it used to, when this track laid on the ground, I had these two gravel pathways lining it. And, well, you see, just like everything with Strict Toaster, when he does it, it looks great. When I do it, it looks like dog barf. And when I say dog barf, I mean, it kind of looks, it's like when you wake up and you see dog barf. When you look at it, it is clearly dog barf, but if you look closer, you can see the enter button and number 9, and you know that they're parts to your remote, but in no way does it look like your remote, right? So, yeah, that's what I mean. You can see what I was going for, but in no way can it be ever confused with what he was trying to do. So I called it dog barf. What it taught me, though, is something that had happened afterwards, because once I created the dog barf, I walked away, started playing the rest of the city, trying to figure out why didn't it turn out the way his did. I came back here with I had a big problem, or I ended up having a problem with the buses, and I didn't realize it was because of this pathway. And this pathway runs along the road. This one used to run along the backyards, and people would leave their backyards and join this path. That's crazy. And it was because of these two pathways that this bus stop over here kept them getting overpowered with a whole whack of people. And that was my first introduction to how powerful pedestrian pathways can be. They can bring people that normally wouldn't be using this bus, in which this whole area, there is really no connection. Well, I guess there is way out here. Yeah. But instead of taking that street, they took this pathway that leads to this bus stop here. So I took that. And how would you say? One trick ponied it? Started doing that everywhere. One of the more famous places of mine would be here, where I took pathways of a whole neighborhood, created a neighborhood that was designed for pathways, and I designed, well, it's actually got buses in it too. Now, I'm drifting apart. I'm drifting away from the subject, aren't I? The whole subject is that park. Well, I started learning how powerful the pathways could be. So then I thought, well, one of the reasons I bought City Skylines was because of the editor. And not that I would use the editor, because I really suck at it. But I knew other people would build these kind of things, like very simplistic park assets. And what I wanted to do was build large parks out of them. You need road connection. I mean, that's a given. But I wanted to do sort of like a thing where they would park here and they would visit this park, and then they would go use the pedestrian pathway, visit that park. And I don't know if you've seen what used to be here. It's gone now because, well, my hard drive died and the park and pond and creek that used to run through here, yeah, it's all gone. So I'm back to this place, and I want to rebuild it. Mind you, I'm not sure if I want to rebuild it where I had it. Yeah, I mean, every time I build something, it always changes. So the goal is to have them park in one certain area, something like this, and then go from park asset to park asset to park asset without ever using the road, that they would just use the pedestrian pathway. Well, I put this down to see if it would work, if they would visit it, and oh yeah, we've got all kinds of tourists visiting it. We even got people that live in this town visiting it, and they have to drive here to do it. So I guess they really don't care how far they have to drive or how far they have to go in order to get to a park. If the park's there, they know it. If it's on their script, they'll visit it. My goal was to somehow get them to visit it more than one little asset there. But I couldn't figure out how to get this to work. Or I couldn't figure out how to get them to go from this park to this park via this pathway. Well, then I realized a long time later that the reason that didn't work, this wouldn't work for me, because it didn't matter how long I waited for them to go from this park. It's like, are they going to know? How about them? Are they? No. They wouldn't go from this park to this park. And the reason why was because they weren't connected. They just looked like it. And as soon as you do that, sooner or later, they'll go from one park to the next via the pedestrian pathway. Mind you, I think we're going to have to wait a long time for them to do that, unless that's one of them. Nope. Denied. I'm not sure if I want to wait here. I know that once I've connected that, they'll start walking across, visiting park to park. Just not that they'll let me show you. There we go. He walked across that park to get to this park to go visit there. Once I realized that, I decided to build the tourist park, which I call the tourist trap park because, well, that's the international airport. That's the train that goes from all outside connections to here, and it's a busy place. So I thought, well, why not build a tourist attraction? Could I build a park in which they don't ever want to go down to the road, that they use pedestrian path to visit all the other parks inside this park? I'm not making sense, am I? And it worked. All I have to do now is just renovate the bejeebies out of this to make it work like I want it to work. Now the goal to this park was, like I said, they can park out here, and they often do, as a matter of fact. Wonder if I can catch somebody who can park here. Let me slow this down to 30. The fantastic fountain. Oop. Is he trying to park? Okay. For all intents and purposes, he did park. See, they all sort of pocket or park their car. Come along this pathway. Enter the large park. And join the rest of the crowd. And all that's here are, well, there's a couple of big attraction pieces, which is the museum, maybe the castle, and they'll walk here rather than use their car, because I've made it as inconvenient as possible for them to use their car. They can use their car if they wanted to walk all the way down to here, pull out a car and then drive, well, down to here or to here. But for them, this is much faster. So it's like I can build parks. I just got to build something that looks a little better than that. So that's what I want to do out here again. I want to rebuild this. I had a pond and a creek, and the whole deal was so that I could join up to this. And this was something that my daughter of 10 years old, or of 10 years, and I built. She put this down. She put down a little petting zoo of horses, put all kinds of swings and places to eat, and I played around with the rocks and water and what have you. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because there's a small clip I have of what this place used to be like. And I think from here I'm going to try to see if I can put together a couple of clips to show you what this place used to be like. And thank God I took these videos because, well, the hard drive died. So what used to be here is gone. And the save you're looking at is from 2022. So from there on in, all the work that I've done in this city vanished. Everything. So I'm going to cut this here. And hopefully we'll see if I can finish off that other video. Well, the video is finished. It's just I wanted to give context to it before I just dumped it out onto YouTube. So, if you don't quite realize, I want to build more parks. I want to build the creek again. Very shallow creek. I want to build a neighborhood that built around this. Yeah, kind of rural neighborhood. Anyways, for now, have fun with City Skylines. Ciao for now.